Thursday evening, and I'm headed out to, looks like the first fire of the season for us. Big fire just flared up to the east, and headed on down to our station and pick up the engine and fall in with two other our crew members, and be heading over there. I don't know anything more than that. Then they're having just put an urgent request out for everyone to come. So I'll film what I can and wish us luck.
So let's stop right here for a minute. I'm going to try to do something I've never done before, and that is to voice over as this video plays. I was on a fire last night that just went textbook, working with some of the most professional and best qualified people that I've ever worked with, and it was a joy to be a member of it. The only downside was that, well, one downside is I'm so tired I can't hardly think, but the other downside is that it was so windy that I was unable to use a lot of the audio. So I'm going to try to commentate as I go along and use what audio I can. And
so we just arrived at staging. I got attached to our task force, and we are going to be doing initial attack here in a minute. Got the fire moving rapidly in grassland. You can see the smoke wafting up there. We got about 17-mile-an-hour winds gusting up to 27, so it could be a really active fire night. So we'll more to come. So we're going to be fighting fire in the dark here, so I'm getting my headlamp ready.
So it's a running.
Yeah, it's. I wondered about that around the corner there.
You ready for this, Ray?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Captain Mike?
I'm always ready.
So I'll be engineer today on the end, running the pump. So we've been tasked to hold this road here. One big problem are burning fence posts. We got really high winds tonight. Even though the fire's kind of burnt down the road, we've got some unburnt fuel here. And these fence posts, they're treated and they'll burn for a long time, and they'll send sparks across the road. If it gets behind us, we have a whole other problem. So we'll pay special attention to these fence posts tonight. So this is really nice. This is the first time we've had our brand new engine out. It's a 2014, 15, what year is it? I don't know. Brand new F550. And I got a crew of 3 today, so we're just kind of going along, walking the hoses, putting out these fence posts. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but right up there, those fence posts that are burning, you can see the wind every once in a while send a whole shower of sparks. And there's unburned fuel between the fire, the black and the fire, the road here. And that's our big concern, is keeping it away from that side, holding it here on this road. I'll tell you, I've got the easy job today.
Can't get traction.
You making this look good, Mike? Are you in shape for this? So those fence posts up there, big railroad ties, are full of creosote, so they're kind of tough to put out.
Everybody in?
Yep.
Well done, gentlemen. So I just dropped the guys off on the last fence post. I'm gonna go up here and see if I can find a place to turn around, and then head back and sweep the area again. Hopefully we'll get a more exciting mission here and then when we get this one done. Here's a nice wide spot we can turn around in. Boy, I'm really enjoying this new truck. Our old truck, what you saw last year, was 1986, 87 or so. We always had the oldest, worst truck on the fires. And this time we've got the newest one. You can see a little fire up there on the horizon. And here's my crew. We're forming up a hand crew to do initial attack on this fire.
So let's hold up right here, and I think it's important I give you a little backstory. So wildland firefighting is it's rapidly changing all the time. You can be sent to do one thing and complete that, and be sent, in the next hour to do something very different. You need to be super versatile. You need to be able to be plugged in to any role that is tasked to you. And one thing that I always do with my crews, and so what happens is you have a guy or a woman that's in charge of this thing, and you have all of these resources, all of these people with apparatus and equipment all arriving. They have no idea what they have. They don't really know what the skill level is. They don't know what the experience level is. They have a bunch of tools in a toolbox that they need to use to get a job done. So the thing that I do is I make sure that I go to them when it's opportune time, and I present myself and my crew. Something like this. Hey, I've got a solid engine here. We've got some really quality guys. We've got fit guys. We are willing to do anything you need. If you have a special job, if you have a task or something that needs done that's really important, this is my engine. This is my name. We can take care of it. And almost 9 times out of the 10, we get some sort of a great project or something of importance or something of real meaning to do. And that was the case here. So when I was talking, or we were kind of wrapping up with our first job, I went and was talking to actually one of my supervisors with the U.S. Forest Service that happened to be there. I'm not working in that capacity. I'm volunteering on this particular fire with my local district. But I said, hey, we're here. We have a good crew. Is there anything that we can do to help you guys? I know you're up there actively engaged on the fire. And she said, you guys mind digging Handline? I said, absolutely not. We'll do whatever needs to be done. And, of course, while everyone else is down patrolling below, half hour later we get the call, head on up. And we're actively engaged on the initial attack and doing a burnout. And all of these opportunities come about from that, I guess, putting yourself out there and being willing to do whatever it takes to be done. So, again, this is where the audio really broke down, so I'll try to narrate. But this was quite an exciting event, and I think you'll enjoy the footage. So I'm just going to try to talk you through what happened. So the fire was up on the plateau, rapidly spreading. The wind up there was nuking. And I took my engine crew and fell in with the U.S. Forest Service hand crew into a handline digging crew. It's basically a row of people with hand tools, and we were digging a fire line actively, directly or indirectly. Directly means you're right on the fire line. There's one of my favorite tools is the combi tool. That's basically a converted military entrenching tool with a long handle on it, and it's super versatile. My partner there, this is a good man, good friend of mine. Just love having him on the crew. Solid guy. He was using a McLeod. So the problem we were running into with this fire is that we had a lot of woody brush and sagebrush and things. And the tool orientation. Important on these hand crews, you have to kind of tailor the tool depending on what the environment is. This here, we're cutting through a lot of sagebrush and brush. We only have, 2 Pulaskis? 2 Pulaskis. So we've got more of these scraping. Was just not quite right. I think I was saying as much there. We didn't have enough chopping tools, and so it was kind of slowing us up. We had more scraping tools. So it's really important when you have a crew that works together all the time. Tool selection is vital. It helps you to become more effective. So I was very excited with this. My squad boss asked me if I was capable of doing a burnout, and I had my fusees, and fortunately I was prepared, and being prepared is so important on this. Being prepared gives you opportunities, and being prepared shows competence and seriousness about this. So these are fusees. They're kind of like road torches. We are mandated to carry 4 of them on our person. We can use them for doing burnouts, starting fires. Putting fire on the ground, as it's called, is one of the most powerful tools that we have combating fire. So what happens is the fire line is backing down towards us, and we dig a fire line, which is basically a line that the fire hopefully won't cross. And once the line is established and the weather is favorable and the wind is favorable and all things are looking good, then we'll light it off. And lighting it off essentially means burning the unburned, or lighting a fire. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Burning the unburned fuel between our fire line, our scratch line, and the active fire. This is a way of so we can leave it. That way we can put our line in, we can get rid of that threat, burn it right to our line, and go to bed at night knowing that we're in pretty good shape. So it's a very scientific. It's not just something you run around willy-nilly. There's a lot of Our burn boss, the guy that was supervising this, had lots of experience, a super solid U.S. Forest Service guy, and broke us up into squads, and each one of us was responsible, here's my area, for doing a burnout in a very specific way. It's called stripping, so it doesn't get away with you, because if this isn't done properly, everything that we've done can come undone. And not only that, we run the high risk of getting someone injured or killed because of getting trapped in a firestorm. So as you can see, we have the crews that are kind of holding the line there. We're starting to light the sagebrush, and everything is just going good. And as the heat intensifies, and in combination with the wind, it starts to pull the fire away from the area that we don't want it to be in, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Have I mentioned this is the best job in the world?
Here you can see it's starting to pick up some steam. This is kind of the tricky hour. This was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning or so. And we are just all of us spread out. There's a drip torch. I was lighting mine with a fusee. A drip torch is a metal can with a spout on the end of it that uses a mix of diesel and gasoline, and essentially is like a very low-level, I don't know, what do you call it, blowtorch or, I don't know, fire dripper. There, I was trying to get some majestic footage for you, and I put my GoPro camera on top of the shovel, and the wind blew it off. Here's my good friend. I can't use his name, but he's our STL, strike team leader, and we're very lucky to have him, a super solid guy, and I'm always happy and always feel safe when I'm on a fire with him, because he really takes care of his crew, and he is an absolute pro. Now you can see the fire really taking off. This is the most dangerous time here, when it's starting to, flame lengths are starting to come up. We're starting to hit some of those big brush piles, which we call jackpots. Jackpots are big piles of sagebrush, or large areas of sagebrush, succulent sagebrush, as somebody said, and it will really take off. And everything's winding down now, where fire has kind of burnt back into itself. And here's an interesting thing, so men and women fight fires. There were 2 women on there, and I'll tell you what, these women absolutely busted their behinds. One of them was on the Pulaski at the head of the crew, had the hardest job on the whole crew, probably 25, maybe 130, 35 pounds, and she absolutely killed it for about 4 hours, swinging that Pulaski and sagebrush. I was impressed, and not me alone, but that's the thing you have out here, is you don't have people making excuses. You have people that train hard. You have people, you have to be committed to do this. And granted, it's maybe a little bit different if you're paid, but I don't think it's that much difference between volunteers. Of course, she was paid, but she was out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and a very risky, very dangerous situation, and just killing it. And I just admired that so much. Here we have our firing boss that they had a couple new people, and the thing with the Forest Service is that they're really good with is training people and making everyone understand and educate you to what's going on. And so they had some new people here, and they were showing them how to strip burn, how to burn out, how to do it right so nobody gets hurt, and everyone benefits from this. And it was, again, I just can't tell you how much I enjoyed working with people on this caliber. I mean, real pros. There's your drip torch, you can see there. It just has a little fire burning at the end, and when you turn it down, it drips little drips, and you can use various techniques, spotting or lines, to really get the fire going, and use this to remove that unburnt fuel and get this thing put away. But I think, how much time we have left? I think we're coming to the end. My partner, poor Ray, he is pretty new. Well, he was with the department, and he left for a while for various reasons, and had to come back, or decided to come back, and he had new boots on, and he had terrible blisters, because he put them on right out of the box on the way to the fire. So he's got some shoes to break in. There you can see, just finishing up and spotting. You can see individual spots if you'd want the fire not to get away from you or to grow too rapidly, and you can just drop little spots. And here it is, sucking itself back up into the hill and burning itself out. And man, it is just majestic being up there. It's a front row seat to an environment that you can't buy.
So I'm on my way home. It's about 6:45 in the a.m. We've been fighting fire for, I guess, almost 12 hours, or at least on the call 12 hours. So everybody did really good. Crack team, great people, a lot of pros, a lot of professional people there. Worked with the Forest Service crew as well as our local district, and got the fire put out. So everything went as planned. Did a burnout, dug about a mile of line in really difficult terrain, and everybody's really tired but very satisfied. So very happy to be part of this, and I'm very proud of the people that I work with. And I don't know, I just don't know what else to say other than I just think it's the best job in the world. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video.